The villagers shunned Kofi, calling him Baobab child. They feared his lineage, believing it is curse. For they wonder why such misfortune would follow him if he wasn't curse. But Katu saw beyond their whispers. She knew that Kofi carried both the burden of incest and the strength of the Baobabs, their roots reaching deep into the earth, anchoring them against storms. The king was still in the floor. His business associate from an international company brought money from a business deal they had. The king handed over the money to the king's men to buy all the items needed for the sacrifice for him to get up from the ground. The king's men went with the money to the market. They bought all the items. They brought the items to the altar of sacrifice. The sacrifice was carried out. The villagers expected a thundering sound as a sign from the gods of the river showing their acceptance of the sacrifice. Instead, they heard a voice, telling them that the sacrifice is rejected. Why, the king asked. The items for the sacrifice must be bought by the villagers and not with foreign currencies of the white man. Again the villagers were disappointed. The king must remain on the ground until the right thing is done, they voice added. All the animals and the other items bought for the sacrifice is useless. The villagers decided to cook and eat the animals and all the items they bought with the king's business deal money. Since the gods rejected them, they can't stay in the land. The king was devastated, but tradition is tradition and we must keep to their rules. After cooking and eating all the animals and food items, the villagers decided to contribute all the money they have to buy new sacrificial animals for the king. Since the gods needed items bought with their own money. After buying the animals and other items all over again, they brought it to the altar of sacrifice. The altar of sacrifice is close to the river that leads to River Ben and River Hills. The animals were bought as requested by the chief priest once again and sacrificed by the river bank. The animal's blood got into the river. The fish around that river area drank the bloody water. One on the fishes swam to where the blood was concentrated. It soaked itself swiftly in the concentrated bloody water and drank enough of it. The tears and pains of all the animals that were slaughtered got to the animal kingdom. Once again, the king of all animals who thought they had made peace with humans and could leave amicably got angry at humans. He demanded to know why humans decided to destroy the animal kingdom by killing them without consideration. The animal kingdom got ready for war. After the sacrifice, a thunderous sound was heard from above. The villagers jubilated for the gods and goddess of the river has accepted their sacrifice. The king stood up from the ground finally. He was happy. Out of excitement, he claimed the altar of sacrifice carrying baby Kofi in his hands and presented him to the gods. While he was presenting Kofi to the gods, lightning came from above, it struck the king's hand and Kofi fell from the king's hand. Everyone was surprised and shock. Their jubilation was cut shut. The king was shocked as he trembled. This has never happened in the history of the Baobab people. Katu screamed on seeing her son fall from the king's hand. She could not help her son. She only could cry the cry of pain on seeing her son fall. She rushed and picked up her son. Unfortunately, Kofi landed at the point where the sand at the river and the waters of the river met. His foot dashed on a stone in the river. He sustained a minor injury on his foot. The blood from the minor injury get into the water. The fish that drank the most of the water with concentrated animal blood swam to the area where Kofi's blood dropped and also took enough of Kofi's blood that mixed with water. Soon the fish started acting up. It started scattering the river. Everybody in the riverbank were surprised. They watched with curiosity. The fish reacted for a while and swam a little further away from the crowd but not too far away. After thinking about what happened to his hand and Kofi's falling for a while, the king regained consciousness and decided to ask the gods questions. What is this? Why did you reject Kofi? He is just an innocent child. Tell me why. He lament. Soon a voice came from the end of the sea saying, "This is an abomination before the gods. The gods rejects your present. They do not take pleasure in abominations." The voice continued. "Who are you?" the king asked in fear. Ben came fully out of the water as he continues. "People of Berbab village, my name is Ben, the only surviving legitimate son of the goddess of the river." Ben responded boastfully, "My mother asked me to tell you that your sacrifice is rejected because your son Kofi is an abomination. He is bore out of incest." His voice thundered. "What?" the villagers screamed. "How?" they asked. "Well, I wouldn't say how, maybe you should consult the goddess yourselves and hear from her directly." Soon the fish that took the blood of all the slaughtered animals and Kofi's blood emerged from the river once again. It swam to a opposite side of the river where Ben stood, and soon it changed to Hills. With serious laughter, it came forth. "Ben, Ben, Ben, how have you been?" Hills asked. Ben and the entire villagers were shocked. "Don't be surprised," Hills added. "I am back. Your rejected incest blood, which is Kofi's, and the numerous animal blood sacrifices mixed together brought me back to the god I once was, but this time stronger than ever. What our father, the river god, did not tell you is that he turned me into a fish to deny me access to the blood of man and animal. He knows that when I get this two kingdoms blood flowing in my veins, I will be stronger than even him. Now I have the blood of man, animal, and mermaid running in my veins. I am indestructible." Hills added. Ben trembled. The villagers panicked. Out of fear, Ben asked, "So what now?" Hills ignored Ben and walked towards the villagers. Find out in the next episode to know what Hills did. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.